size of classes.
Changed over from like just primarily a teaching school to what it is now, like the university.
Changes started to happen in the 1930s and 40s, and they really picked up steam after World War II when a lot of men came to campus on the GI Bill.
Right.
A lot of World War II soldiers came, and they were not necessarily interested in teaching curriculum. So then you see a real growth in the College of Business, Engineering, the non-teaching areas. There were the entire College of Business occupied these buildings. They had their own library. The original library became a separate business library. And then when Schneider was built in the early 90s, they moved over to the West Campus. And when Waldo Library was renovated, a decision was made to incorporate the business library and actually another branch library. There had been a physical sciences library in Rood Hall. Those were incorporated into Waldo, and then we ended up, moving to the East Campus. The main building over to the training school. We have photographs of cars driving through here.
Oh, it was just a bridge. This whole thing wasn't here.
This whole thing wasn't here, and this was added in the 1940s. This had long been a concern. You had mentioned the history of Western as a college for training teachers. And Western offered what many colleges and universities offered. They had a training school. So instead of sending students into the community to do their intern teaching, they would actually do their intern teaching at a school that Western operated. So Western operated a fully functioning K through 12 program.
Wow.
And there are people in the community who can say that they graduated from high school at Western.
So this is the inside of what was added.
Yeah, this was the inside, and I think it's interesting because there was an attempt to sort of make it blend in. I mean, you see the columns mimicked in the paneling here. And the other interesting aspect, though, was, everything at this level is you end up taking stairs to go up, or there actually is a lower level. It's not the most attractive part of this building. You end up taking, stairs to go down. This has an interesting history because this is sort of the heart of the training school, and that was that part of Western's program where we had a fully functioning K through 12 program. There's actually a fireplace underneath here. When they installed the gallery, they wanted as much, kind of white wall space as possible, and they preserved the fireplace that's behind here, but then they added the lighting and everything here. And so this would have been more open at the previous time. And you can actually see, if you're standing on the second level, you can see down below. And this was a place where, when the campus school was here, they would do a lot of programs and
like give announcements or?
They would actually, I think they would actually have, some performances of that in this area, and I think it was designed to have, a flow of students of different grades so they could interact, and this was supposed to be, I think some kind of communal space.
Great heaters.
Mm-hmm.
How old those are?
Down at the other end of the building, and they work very well.
And these are all classrooms, so there were 4 different classrooms, or how did that work?
Well, and I do think that over time some of these, I think there may have been some modifications, but again, these would have been small classrooms because they would have been elementary, middle school, and some high school students in here. Of course, now you see there's a kitchen in here, and I have no idea if that may have been a remnant, when the College of Business was over here, but when the School of Art had their gallery and their studio space over here, the kitchen, they would use that frequently because they would have, usually the students would have their BFA receptions. Came to Kalamazoo to look at the different sites that were proposed. This was a person who was with the Olmsted firm out of New York. And when they looked at the sites, they said, this is the site you want. They looked at a site on the east side, they looked at a site on the west side of Kalamazoo, they looked at one further out near Old Nazareth College. And there were several sites that the community was considering. and they selected this site. Now, the landscaping never materialized. I think Western's plans, or the school, actually it was the Board of Education for Kalamazoo, the School Board of Education. I think there was either some misunderstanding or they didn't have enough money, but they did not end up implementing the Olmsted plan. We've got the plans in the archives, but
Never happened.
Never happened. In fact, we've got copies of letters where the Olmsted firm is, basically pleading the Board of Education to pay the bill. It's interesting that actually they asked the male faculty members as they were getting the site prepared to help, lay the steps coming up the hill.
Right. Well, and then wasn't it, didn't you have a Western trolley at one point? Wasn't that a way to get the students from now Davis to up here? That's so great. When did they stop doing that?
Well, that was between 1909 and 1949, and I think there were probably a couple of reasons why that discontinued. One was the trolley had grown, the trolley was in poor repair and would have cost quite a bit of money to, keep it operational, and there were some safety issues. And I think it also coincides with the whole development of the West Campus. Residence halls were being built over there. I think it was going to be the future growth place of the campus, and so the need to transport students from the Vine neighborhood up to the hill probably wasn't going to be, as much of a need.
The walls falling apart?
It's plaster.
Yeah.
It's plaster, and that's one of the unfortunate things. This building,
Sad.
has, I think, been a maintenance challenge for the university.